Morning, everybody. Texas Redleg here. Hope you're doing all right today. Hope you had a good weekend. And I'm just kind of chilling on the back porch here, getting ready for the day, and just wanted to check in with everybody, see how they're doing. Hopefully, you've continued to do the things that are necessary to get yourself prepared and your family prepared, and all your skills up to date. You get your 2A things that help with your security and all that other stuff. So. And hopefully you're continuing to do that, and hopefully you're paying attention to the, various entities of news providers, that are out there pushing this, pushing that. And the big topic, of course, today is whether old Nan's going to swing into Taiwan and ratchet that up. And I don't know, there's a lot of rhetoric and bluster that says she's going to be arriving there, I guess, tomorrow, Tuesday at some point, overnight their time or whatever. But there's a lot of heated rhetoric in the air, if you will, and the fact that China's already thrown it out there. If you want to believe the news media reports, that they're prepared to do what it takes to keep her out of Taiwan. So. I don't know. Be prepared for fireworks, I guess. And here's the thing: somebody's going to have to blink, and if somebody doesn't blink, it gets dangerous from there. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think that with all the rhetoric that's out there and all the reputation that's on the line and willingness to fight, if you will, that's out there on the line, especially with China saying they're going to do this and do that. Russia does the same thing, and it's not good. All right, it's not good, and I fully expect to have a drawn out conflict at some point, and the enemy knows that. Let's just take the Ruskies, for example. They've had their hands full in Ukraine on the ground. So the only thing they've really been successful with is, the air-to-ground stuff. So expect, if it gets that hot, expect to be receiving some of that incoming as well. Now, of course, I'm talking conventionally now. If it was me and I was going to hit us, I would hit us with everything I got. I mean, there would be no doubt, especially the hypersonic stuff, because if they can get it to you before you can hit your buttons, of course, we've got a lot of, seafarer weaponry out there that's already launched, of course, and in position. So it's not just the ground to ground stuff, right? It's not just the cruise missiles that are shot from trucks and trailer units out, here or there in silos. It's the ships, it's the submarines, it's the other, and aircraft that can launch as well. So there's no one, protective measure out there. It's just nothing but bad news if that occurs. Okay. And there's a lot of good sources for information out there regarding the nuke stuff. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. I'm certainly hoping it doesn't, but if it does, it does. Again, worry about what you can control, and controlling your preps, controlling your supply chain. Just break it all down. What power do you have in control of your stuff, right? Finances, your investments, your preps, your fortification and security of your home and vehicles, etc. These are all things that continue to be important. And if these hurricanes kick up and we have a lot of other stuff and a lot of more natural disasters and things of that nature, it doesn't have to be war, but they say things come in threes. So we're already fairly vulnerable in my point, from my perspective, if you will. And the fact that we've got a recruitment problem in the military, especially the Army, there's just a lot of things that make us ripe for the picking, if you will. Again, certainly hoping it doesn't come to that. It is what it is, but I would just be sure that, you break everything down into your little world, right? And make sure that, you're in control of your stuff. Make sure that you can establish, a good pantry, extra food, extra meds. If you can get another 60-day supply or 90-day supply of your medication, go ahead and get it. That's what I do. I just talk to the pharmacist and go, look, I'm going on a trip or whatever, and I've never had anybody tell me they can't refill a prescription, long term for me like that. So, generally, if you're nice and just, explain that you're going to be on a trip or whatever, they'll usually accommodate you. It kind of depends on what it is, I think. If it's obviously a narcotic of some sort, they may be less willing to fill something like that for you, but I'm not on anything like that. So, but if you're high blood pressure, if you're a diabetic or some type of chronic, ailment, you probably need to make sure that you've got extra supply on hand. And again, that's just for any type of disaster or chaos. The food chain thing is a whole nother can of worms. And there's just so much that's being piled on top of the people right now that I think you need to, I say it a lot, tighten your inner circle, right? Again, going back to what you can control, and leave the rest to the good Lord. But do what you can and do what you can control, and I think you throw the rest of it to the good Lord, and you'll be okay. But don't stop. It doesn't take, even if you've only got $5 left over every week, you can still go buy preps. Okay, I don't care if it's a 1 pound bag of rice from Dollar Tree. Get something. Right? Get something that will have a decent shelf life, and be sure you're checking your dates on your things that you're buying. It's just a smart move to make. There's a lot of expired product out there. There's a lot of tampered products. A lot of stuff travels by rail or truck. There's a lot of times there's derailments. There's incidents where this freight gets damaged en route, and they basically salvage it and sell it to these cheaper stores, and it's dented or got a blemish on it or whatever, but it's still edible. They'll sell it really, really cheap to these dollar stores and put it back on the shelf. So just take the time and look at your cans that you're buying, look at the bags of things that you're buying. When I buy the liquid coffee creamer, I unscrew the cap and look at that little foil seal on top and make sure it's still intact, because I've been burned before not doing that, and it had a puncture in it and it was bad. So just important to check your stuff, take a deep breath, take your time, don't get into a big of a hurry, because times are tight and you need to make every dollar count. But tighten your inner circles, and be prepared to shrink your footprint, if you will, with all the noise going on outside, and just gather in your little world and protect and participate in what you can control, and the other stuff, again, leave it to God, and just do your thing, empower yourself and your family and your kids to be a thriver in bad times. We've become fat, lazy, and impatient in this country, because everything's always available to us. We don't have to sit here and fight very much for things, and it's just instantaneous, instant gratification, if you will. So let's be aware of that, and people that never had to suffer might have a really, really tough time in the very near future. So I'm not, saying that we need to suffer, but if you've had to go through hard times and, budget and save and pinch pennies, or fix a broken vehicle yourself or something like that, where you didn't have a choice and you just figured it out, or got some help from somebody that was smart enough to teach you how to do it. These are all little things that build character and establish your ability to thrive in bad times. So be aware of that. Be strong. Don't go down the rabbit holes of rhetoric that does you no good. Be smart about the things that you communicate. Be smart about how you store things, especially the 2A stuff. Be sure that you are, you know, you have access to your stuff and it's not just in plain view, you know. And be sure that you're safe and proficient with those items as well, especially if you are, you know, carrying or have one in your vehicle like a lot of us do. So anyway, with that, everybody have a great week. Be smart out there. Be deliberate in your posture. You know, don't be a victim. Keep an eye open. Keep your ears open. And protect what you got. So with that, everybody keep prepping, stack it deep, and long live the Republic.